Seeing and hearing me from the PlayStation 4, broadcasting Ghost of Tsushima. Now, you'll excuse me as I've never broadcasted for the PlayStation 4 before, so this is a bit of a new experience for me. So I'm just going to hold on about half a second until I find out if it is up on YouTube. And yeah, it is. So that's cool. Right, so if you guys comment or whatever, I should be able to talk back with you. But in the meantime, I'm going to start playing this. This game I'm excited about for a long time. Hi there. Oh, and I can see chat on the side. Man, PS4 really figured out how to do this properly.
Mongol Empire is invading our home.
Comment, yeah. I can see your comment, Snake Dude for life.
They are
Oh, I
brutal.
wish, man. No, you got to be way bigger than I am to get out
Relentless.
codes.
Unstoppable.
The armor really is gorgeous in this game. This has gotten a lot of accolades for the art
We
style.
are 80 samurai
History.
against an army, fighting to slow the invasion.
Nice to see you again this afternoon
Today.
on Bismarck.
I die for my people.
Probably night where you are.
There must be thousands of them. We will face death.
My first time ever seeing
And
this. I
defend
thought
our
not
home.
talking more instantly. I'm just rather curious what these guys are looking at now. This
Tradition.
occurs, I think, roughly 1278 in
Courage.
Japan, where the
Honor.
Mongolian-controlled
They are what
dynasty
make us.
decide to invade Japan.
We
The
are the
first
warriors of Tsushima.
landing goes pretty well. They get a foothold.
We are samurai!
After that, they get sort of
But
pushed
that's you.
back by the weather itself.
Go break their spirits.
Oh yeah, I'm sure I'm going to love it too. I'm a sucker for open world games with beautiful settings and especially history-based. I love all the Assassin's Creed games, and the first time I saw this, I was like, yes, this is right up my alley. I also was a big Fable fan back in the day, and I highly suspect they're going to announce Fable 4 on Thursday. Oh, a bit quiet. Okay, well, I can press a button and hopefully change that. Hopefully a little better. Let's move my mic up. If I'm still too... Alright, I'll tap the button then.
Outside?
Options. Nope, won't let me do it right
Send
now.
your finest warrior to face me.
Only my microphone audio is being broadcast, so go right over here to adjust microphone level, and tap, 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 and I should be much louder now. Better? Alright, good stuff. I'm using a little lapel mic called a Rode Lav, Smart Lav. It's one I actually use for all my recordings for my channel, but you can't hear yourself,
I
unfortunately.
am Haru
while you're talking.
Nobuadachi, descendant of the legendary Yoshinobu Adachi.
Now, I was highly tempted to play this in Kurosawa mode, named after the legendary Japanese filmmaker Akira Kurosawa, who set that man on fire. Oh, God. Well, that just feels unnecessary. Like, I feel if you're a true Mongolian invader, you would just let them burn. No, this is just on a PlayStation 4 because I'm a peasant. My wife, last Christmas, was actually kind enough to get me a PlayStation, so I played God of War and Spider-Man as my Christmas gift. And so she also wanted to play Ghost of Tsushima.
No mercy! Open fire! For Tsushima!
The voice for a guy who plays the voice for when he died. Oh, I don't know. Like, you mean Mako from Avatar: The Last Airbender. God, what a great voice that was, by the way. The same guy who was in Conan. Really great growl. And Aku from Samurai Jack. So... Force-based charge action going on. Yeah, probably a good point. I may need to put subtitles on, as you pointed out there. Man alive, I'm assuming you're on European time.
I need you with me.
3:52 a.m. Christ, what is that, Australia?
Even if it costs us our lives.
As you command, Lord Shimura.
Like I said, first time streaming on PS4. If it continues to be an issue, tell me. Oh, hey, Taylor. I know Taylor. Took me a moment to realize it's that tier.
With me! More Mongol dogs!
Jeez Louise, that's gorgeous. Alright. Brutal combat. So this is actually slightly before the era of the samurai, I would think. Like, these guys are technically kind of samurai, but the Code of Bushido doesn't come around for 200 years ago. And so he's sort of a proto-samurai in a weird sort of way. But a lot of the basic styling and stuff is already there now. Even though this looks like a katana, it's also technically not a katana. Katana's really a style of weapon perfected by Masamune with the multi-layered folded steel and things like that. You'll notice how the style of the weapon is roughly the same. Oh, look at his stances. He's going right through that. So his combat movements here are almost undoubtedly inspired by the Book of Five Rings, which is probably the premier sword fighting manual of ancient Japan, 1600s. As a dueling manual. Golly, this game is badass looking. Alright, sorry.
We're all that's left. There is only one path for us.
Absolutely amazing. Everything I've heard is this entire game is absolutely amazing. I've had a friend that's been playing it over the weekends and I couldn't. And he keeps like texting me about how great it is. So Daniel, if you're watching, I'm finally getting to play this jerk. Please stop texting me about it. But he said especially the duels are just absolutely badass.
I'm ready, Uncle.
You know, PlayStation has been doing a little better about releasing their exclusives on PC. I know that surprisingly Zero Dawn just came out there, I guess like 2 years later. So I mean, it's possible this might also wind up there. I would hope that. And since the PS4 is in, you know, pretty near the end of its life cycle, I think we got this thing for like $200. I mean, it's a pretty good price for considering all the exclusives you're going to get. So there's a Kurosawa mode for this game that I mentioned a minute ago, which puts the whole thing in black and white, like with a filter on top of it, extra wind and stuff like that, inspired by the filmmaker Akira Kurosawa, who specialized in these historical Japanese films. Oof, that extra arrow. I almost put it on for this, but the coloration in this game just is so gorgeous that I didn't want to miss out on something already in there. Yeah, the funny thing about it, honorable samurai charge, it doesn't always work out. That is the most overblown armor. So clearly, in case you're wondering if he's Mongolian, to make him as Mongolian looking as possible.
I am Khotan, cousin of Kublai, grandson of Genghis.
Wow.
Brother, you are a warrior. I can see that.
Nothing about this is going to end well.
Life for this. And you have won battles that lesser men have called unwinnable, yes?
I was going to ask him to join.
But while you were sharpening your sword, do you know how I prepared for today? I learned. I know your language, your traditions.
You know, I was curious if in the original he would be speaking Mongolian, but apparently they even imply right here he'd be speaking Japanese.
So I'll ask you once again, Samurai. Do you surrender?
No. Have you never seen a samurai film? I love there's not even a response. He's just in the slowest look ever created by man. Yeah, that's a really great character design. That guy looks, like you said, meaty, just beefy and strong right there. But not like in a fat sort of way, but in like just a dude that's clearly pretty beefy. That Kublai Khan look. Apparently this game is already being boycotted in China and Mongolia right now because of its depiction of the Mongols as, you know, the baddies. Yeah, so there's two parts to the invasion. There's like a first part where they sort of landed, they fought a little bit, but they didn't get a good foothold. And so it's the second invasion force coming in, is my understanding, that was really going to kind of push it in the rest of the way, that gets blown away by the divine wind, the kamikaze. That divine intervention. And, you know, that wind is what we saw right there, the idea of this spiritual wind of Japan that is empowering its people to fight back. I mean, even at the time, they were definitely, they thought it was a very divine action, to put it in the least. Oof. Having had surgery one time to have a gallbladder out, it really sucks to get stabbed. Just gonna be honest. There's no way getting around like healing up from that. It just hurts. Human beings were not meant to be stabbed.
How did I get here?
And got some tatami mat, got a bedroll, got some nice chopped wood, got our containers, classic.
No weapons, just supplies.
See, I wasn't sure if it was tornado. So I've heard it translated two different ways. It's either tsunami or tornado, because apparently tornado is a word that's unique to the United States, and they're much more common here.
Need to keep moving.
Yeah, it's like you said, a little full hole right there, but not. I guess that I was wondering if the small island was actually Tsushima, which is, you know, obviously why this is called Ghost of Tsushima. I would not be surprised to find that out. Man, look at that color palette, that blue one. Blue and fire. Yeah. Oh, thanks, Bruce. I appreciate that there.
Someone saved me. Hit me back here. Maybe they have my sword.
Yep, definitely gonna need to... Oh, okay, we're not limping anymore. We're just... We healed up the moment we passed through that magical rock right there. Well, that's good. Whoever the person is with the 2 stars, I appreciate your historical context right there, but obviously that is a later event, and not the gentleman we're talking about during this period. I think pretty much every group through the history, if you look at various bits and pieces of it, are all responsible for doing some really nasty stuff. Sure to pick up everything. Yeah, and it is tsunami, since it was the tsunami that destroyed it. Yeah, but I mean, like I said, it's kind of weird if it translates one way or the other here. Oh, there's a guy. Can I strangle him to death yet? Will they give me the option to strangle to death? They do not. Okay. Am I a ninja or a samurai? If you have seen my playthrough of the game A Plague Tale Innocence, you will know that I am a samurai and a half. I am the worst stealth person to ever play video games, frankly. But you give me a sword, I'll run in there and hack some mofos up. That has always been my style. For better or worse in life and video games. So, collect. Yep.
Broken.
Nice. You got some armor with the arrow catchers on the side there. So here, fun fact, you'll notice that a lot of Japanese armor is actually lacquer armor. So it's like pieces of bamboo or pieces of leather, pieces of wood that have had a coating put on top of it. Because it's basically like a type of like composite armor, multiple layers on top of each other, because mainly it's stopping either arrows or like very large, cutting blades. And the other reason is metal is really, really scarce in Japan, and what iron they did have was really shitty, and that's one of the reasons that katanas were built the way they were, is because you have to fold that steel so many times just to make it not ass, basically. It was extremely brittle, and they had to work it very, very hard to get as much impurities out as possible. So, why don't they look like knights from medieval England? Well, it's because they basically didn't have enough iron laying around. You guys hear me sniffling occasionally. It's a bit of a cold right now. I do apologize.
How are your wounds? Can you run?
I think so.
If you say you think you can run, you can't run. That's called I'm going to rip something back open if I run.
Please, hide.
So, good question. Why didn't samurai use shields? Okay, two parts to it. One, the bows and such had progressed in such a way that the bows were never quite as powerful as what we consider European longbows or even the recurve bows of continent. And so basically the armor they're wearing right here would stop a good deal of them. So you don't need protection in that form of a shield. Katanas were always sort of a two-handed weapon right there, and so it sort of evolved from that. So it was also, man, that lady just shanked him. I like her. I like that. Awesome. They also instead evolved like certain other aspects. If you've ever seen the original Shogun 2 or Shogun 2 Total War, they had these weird balloons on their back, and they were called horo or horo. And there's a debate about what they actually looked like the rest of the way through. Can I loot that guy? Because he's on the ground, and nope, still can't get a weapon. Okay. Yeah, so I'm a teacher by trade, and you have to learn how to say things in an entertaining and interesting manner, because high schoolers are brutal, man. Press that R3 to crouch. I just pressed R3! Sorry. I don't want to lose because I don't press R3 fast enough as I'm talking. Right, so horo were a type of like silken cape that would float out behind them. And there's a question of whether or not it was tied off the neck and around the bottom of their waist, and it was possibly like a reinforced wicker shield. But basically, as they would be riding on the back of a horse, people would shoot the arrows and it would get tangled up in the horo. So it was a type of shield, but not like, what we think of as like strapped to an arm. Same thing with Ashiguro and things like that, where you have guys with like really long pikes. Why didn't they have shields? Well, yet again, it's sort of like the Macedonians. They carried very small shields, but they weren't really the point of that particular.
You're Jin Sakai, the Jito's nephew?
I have to know.
Oh, the subtitles. Yeah, I'll do it as soon as we get to this cutscene.
I think so.
Thus far, we've learned he's the nephew.
Where did they take him?
Gonna rescue some people.
Along the coast.
I suppose the subtitles are for you guys. That is a good point, Sean Perry. I just realized it's not for me. It's for you.
I could take them by surprise.
You'll be killed.
I always love the multicolors you see on these uniforms they have. And there's a lot of really great surviving examples of samurai armor. This is obviously an earlier period. You can tell because they have the much wider pauldrons. We were talking about shields a second ago, and those are basically shields. You don't need to carry a shield on your arm when you have a shield that blocks the entire side of your body strapped to you already.
Lord Shimura can help our whole island.
There's some really great examples. Pretty much all the major museums of the world have at least one suit of what we consider samurai armor. Okay, subtitles, audio, probably under audio. Yes, I'm using built-in TV speakers, don't make fun of me, sorry. Let's see, exits, accessibility, and that should do it. So now you guys should have subtitles from now on. Under here. This is a game I was very, very nervous about. Because you didn't hear a lot about it until about 2 weeks ago. Like it felt like there was a lot of stuff about it, and then nothing. So I was really worried this was going to suck. But thankfully it does not, because these games take years to create. And if you do them right, they have such lives beyond themselves. It's so hard to capture like the essence of a world, of an era like this. Their stances, since they angle themselves towards your opponent, so they can. Yep, exactly. You're talking about the way the body moves to only having certain open lines as well. That's yet again coming from things like the Book of Five Rings by Miyamoto Musashi. Ugh. Give me a sword! I want to hack some people. I'm sneaking. I hate sneaking. Like, I realize like half of this game you can play as stealth. I want to not.
Clear the road. If we cross, someone's bound to see us.
I'll take that chance.
Wait. The guard.
So one of the funner things about the game is also that the weather and the world around you actually responds to your actions. So if you continue to act as an honorable samurai, the sky is clear, everything becomes more fertile. And if you act as a ninja, the sky apparently gets really dark and stormy and super windy, so that... Oh, okay.
Up here.
L and X. Okay. These are basically either Witcher or Assassin's Creed controls. They're pretty close. Everyone's sort of using the same modified.
I traded it for food and medicine.
You what?
Don't worry. We'll find the buyer. Get your sword back.
Okay. A katana is worth a hell of a lot more than a bit of food and medicine.
We've got a long ride.
Yeah.
Take whatever supplies you can carry.
This is someone's house.
So the game sort of encourages that whole stormy, dark, sneaky atmosphere. The idea being that it's easier for you to do stealth, actually, if you are doing it in like a stormy weather in this game. So that way it sort of makes it easier for you to... What the hell is this? This is a thing. I don't know what it does. So we got a hook. We're at the end of a rope. Occasionally when I play these games, you'll see me stop and look at random things because they're always well researched. This is a hearth. I'm guessing that's what they would suspend a cooking pot on, or possibly some sort of cooking thing. I don't know. Interesting. I'm not sure what that was for. I've always loved Japanese architecture and design, though, because it's so different than anything you see in Europe. I mean, a completely different mindset as to how things are built, even how it operates. In my house, we watch a lot of NHK Japan. It's a local PBS channel that's basically the BBC, except from Japan. So it's like sort of their public broadcasting system. So they have all these like random like stations coming out of there. But so much of it is just like going around Japan and like
Stand watch.
meeting random people doing these random ancient arts that have gone nearly extinct in the last couple hundred years. Golly. Yeah, invaders to a new land, especially in this case, are not particularly very gentle to whoever you come across. Enter Toru's house. Can I just...
It must be here.
Yeah, they must be here. Man, they are not sparing anybody, are they? Do we got the katana? We got the katana. Oh, yeah. You know, the most unrealistic thing I've seen in this game so far is that guy has a 5 o'clock shadow after one day. I do not know many Japanese people that grow beards very quickly.
And I am no coward!
Your enemy is no match for you.
But
You still lack control.
I was practicing.
With your father's weapon,
Oh,
the
man.
sword of Tan Sakai.
It's clear that the guys watching this watched a
Saved
lot
lives.
of martial arts films. The Falling Leaves like that are highly reminiscent of the movie Hero with Jet Li from around the year 2000 or so.
Who did this to you?
A lot of great art style, art direction in that as well. It's a shame more of these films don't make it over to the United States, but you know, it's sort of a different cultural,
To master the blade.
different cultural priority, I suppose. You know, a lot of people can't really deal with the Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon style because it's not something they grew up with, but it's an extension of Chinese opera. By the same token, that a lot of this is an extension of Kabuki theater and, you know, the over stylized fights and things like that. As Pharaoh's pointing out, because the metal is so weak, you can't really do like a hard block on it. You have to do like a cut. Oh, Paul, yeah. Daniel's already got it. He said it's fantastic. Hold on, I gotta beat the brakes off this guy. Oh, wait. Oh, this is the part where the leaves. Oh my god, look at those leaves. Wait, did they actually leave a trail behind me? Oh, they do. Oh, that is so cool. Oh, I want to sleep all the leaves.
Try to strike me.
Alright, sorry. Quick, heavy, hold for a stab. And they're using wooden swords called Bakken.
It is your turn to attack, Jin. It is your turn to attack, Jin.
Oh man, I love that. It's so subtle, but it's definitely one of those things that
Attack! I am ready.
I love the sword stance. You'll notice the stabs are very unwieldy. To get enough power behind it, they always, you know, there's a little like forward flick you can do, but to get enough actual oomph behind it, you'll see him doing that wind up right there to go into that stance. That makes you.
It is your turn to attack, Jin.
I know, it's so gorgeous. I hope at some point I get to fight in a bamboo forest. I love fighting in bamboo forests and like seeing the bamboo get sliced and fall down around me. It's like that's one of my favorite parts of films, is especially samurai films, is where you see like the environmental destruction as you wade through things.
How will you defend yourself?
Lure him in. Definitely
big,
lure someone in.
But I'm quicker. I'll stay out of his reach. Wait for him to get tired. Then drop him with one strike.
Good. A samurai must always fight with patience and discipline, even when his opponent resorts to trickery.
I'll remember, Uncle.
Now, break through my defenses.
Okay.
Show me Jin Sakai is a warrior of great courage.
Tap triangle to break defense and stagger enemy, then follow by a quick attack.
Break my block with a heavy attack, and strike quickly.
So use a heavy to open them up, follow with a bunch of clicks. Alright, that's pretty standard fare for any fighting game, so. Alright, you know what? When I think that tap, I didn't even be able to land that blow. Yeah, it's not just actually tap. And I'm hitting him like 3 times afterwards. Alright, come on.
Break my block with a heavy attack,
Break
and
my
strike
block.
quickly.
Love it. That Mako voice.
Enough! I yield.
You let me win.
Not at all. If you held the
So
real
someone else had
sword,
asked
I
about
would be
the
dead.
shields a
I
minute
would never lie
ago.
to
Basically,
you,
it's a
Jin.
combination
If for a
of
change,
just
try
the
to
way the
block
weapons
my
were
attacks.
used and the fact that the armor was sort of enough
Hold your blocking
to,
form.
L1. That's a weird place for that.
A fine block. Good form.
I'd be putting L2 unless it's much more about
sorry.
targeting. I bet L2
we
will
take a
target
break?
or something
We're
like
not
that.
finished yet. Find your resolve and fight through the pain.
Oh, look, there's like floating down. That is so gorgeous. Heal.
Draw the resolve.
Okay, so we got 3 heals per bout, it looks like. Little health kits. This is your resolve meter, drawing your resolve to heal and perform other special abilities. Gain resolve by killing enemies, parrying attacks, or using other advanced skills.
It's time you learn to parry. Wait for me to make the first move.
So
Once I
tap L1
strike,
at the exact
block
right
my
time.
attack. You must parry before I strike.
Yeah, I gathered that. Come on.
Fine
There we
parry. When I strike, parry. Don't block too early.
Yep, yeah, I blocked too early. There we go. Normally you can parry up by a quick attack, but yeah, there it goes. Parrying, you have to halfway concentrate.
You're improving.
So apparently this does have a duel system
Need to
in it
catch
where
your
you
breath?
can hit a button at the
will
exact
take more
right
than a
time and you can
child
just
to
go
knock the wind
right
out
through them and like get 4 or 5 guys in a row.
Now then,
A lot.
Let's
if
see
you
you
don't get a ton of
defend
health in this
against the
game.
spear.
I'm okay with that, man. I'd rather
dodge
it
my
be
spear
you gotta
and
kind of
follow
pay
up with a
attention.
counterattack. Good reflexes.
Oh, I can just dodge. Dodge!
Excellent counter. Excellent dodge. Remember, dodge, then counterattack.
Dodge!
A fine counterattack.
If I hear watches Team 4-star, you know what I'm saying. Well, dodging's way easier than parrying. Unless parrying
See,
opens them up for an easy
There is
attack.
no
There's not a lot of
weapon,
reason
no
to do it.
warrior you cannot overcome.
Thank you for these lessons, Uncle.
We are not finished yet. Jin Sakai, will you honor me with a sparring match?
I wouldn't want to hurt you.
If you're that confident, let's make this interesting. The first to land 5 strikes gets to choose dinner.
I hope
Okay.
you like octopus.
Very good, Jin.
Well struck, Uncle.
I'm just beating the brakes off of this guy. This is on normal, by the way. This is like whatever the normal suggested difficulty was. So it's not like I'm playing on easy or anything.
I have one last question.
But I mean, it is a tutorial. I suppose you should probably be able to beat the tutorial.
Generations, our families have lived by a code.
That code is
Tell
Bushido.
me the virtues that guide us.
It's not technically a thing yet, but it is here because
Loyalty to our
all
Lord.
Japanese history occurred at the same
Control
time.
over our
don't you know?
emotions. And
You know this.
honor.
I take it you played
fight
Dark
bravely
Souls, Sean
and
Farrow.
uphold the legacy of Clan
I
Sakai.
have never particularly enjoyed games like that, where it's just
Those are your father's words.
instant death all over the place. Although,
What does honor
there are a
mean
lot
to
of
you?
really fun games, such as Bushido Blade back in the day, or the actually the Deadliest
Protecting
Warrior
people.
series did a revival of it, where
ones
the
who
one-on-one
can fight for
combat with
themselves.
instant kills can be a lot of fun. But if you have a narrative campaign where you're
have
fighting
good
30
heart.
at once, it just gets a little tedious.
But first, we must show everyone that we serve our Lord with courage, integrity, and self-control.
You say that like it's easy.
Oh,
It's never
thank you,
easy,
Geb.
Jin.
Make the person playing it suffer.
I
Yeah, that's
struggle
actually
with
why I
it.
kind of gave up on playing
But we must set an example
Plague
for
Tale
our
Innocence.
people
I just kept dying
by
over and over and
remaining
over.
true to our code.
Because I would refuse to be stealthy.
And
I'm like,
to
I just want to go out and
ourselves.
shank someone. And the game disagreed. And I got like
is a
one
mean
chapter left, but apparently everything I read is like an hour and a half long, and it's the hardest one in the entire game. And I'm just like, oh man, like I want to finish it. I just don't want to have to not fail my way through it the whole time. Oh, that's a nice shot. See, that is a Kurosawa shot. Now you can kind of tell that it's a much more static and just sort of holds and lets you kind of breathe in the space in the room. That's what we're looking for. Oh, he's got that more Mongolian forelock. Oh yeah, that was satisfying. This is
I found your sword.
Where can I
oh,
find
that's
a
what I was
horse?
looking for right
Stables
there.
aren't far. This way.
Yeah, well, I'm glad it encourages exploration because it's definitely a game where you. I like to explore in games. I like to roam across the countryside and hunt and see all the scenery. So that definitely appeals to me. It really does. Like whoever their motion capture people are, because normally it's motion capture to get it looking this close. I mean, they really did some nice stuff to get it looking this smooth.
More riders.
Islands.
This game's either slow.
Where are the
because it's
stables?
different, so you
Behind
can't
that
see the
burning
blow.
farmhouse.
Yeah,
Follow me.
yeah. It's a very weird balance. You don't want to give the people too much time to dodge, but they don't want to make it so it's just ridiculously punishing either.
We can get close, slit their throats, and kill them without a sound.
Without honor.
This lady is merciless.
break my
I
code.
love her.
Face me, invader!
Target the pulsing enemy and attack. Targeted. So instead of having to lock on, you just pull the thumbstick towards them, and that does enough. That is really clever.
can't
So it's
save
an
everyone.
auto lock-on system.
I'm done running, and I can
In
finally
his
help.
suffering.
Damn it!
Ah, that wow. Okay. Hacky stabby slabby. This is an aqueduct type thing, I guess. Yeah, it's channeling the water down from the mountains up there. Normally this would be fields, I assume. So I always thought these are interesting. So these are Japanese marching camps, you know, because yet again, a lot of resources like wood and stuff like that are kind of rare. Instead of putting up like palisades, sorry, I'm apparently wandering out of the bounds, they would put up these white tent-like structures. And I saw these in the Kurosawa films back in the day. I never quite understood what they were for, but yeah, they're basically like marching forts. You put them up because, you know, yet again, it's a barricade that people
More
have to go
guards.
through. And it's
Don't
just
let
more to
anyone
kind of
escape.
slow them down. Is there a kick? Is there a kick? I don't think there's a kick. Oh, there's a jump. Oh, God, this is brutal.
Thank you, my lord. They
Oh,
said all the samurai were dead.
I didn't realize there was a man with a baby there. That was completely accidental that I
Somewhere
saved
to
you,
hide.
but of course.
I heard Golden Temple might be safe.
Please, thank me. Thank
Go.
me with money
Stay off the
or
roads.
weapons
And
or
guard your son with your life.
upgrades or any of these things.
You risked your life for them.
They couldn't
Oh, the
defend
kick?
themselves.
Yeah. Super advanced. I kick you.
Can't let more
Love
of our
that.
people die.
They're not the only ones who need you. My brother. The Mongols took him.
Ah, we
That's
must
why
go
you
get
saved
back
me.
her brother.
Taka is my only family.
And Lord Shimura is mine.
Well, they're both been captured, so go rescue
I
them
just
both.
want
You
my
have
brother
aligned
back.
objectives.
I'll help you find him after I save my uncle. I promise.
Oh, that's interesting. So it's not like a
coming
full
with
kick in
you.
the chest. It's a stop kick. That actually is similar to a
Stables are
move
just up
from...
ahead.
Oh man, is it Aikido? Is Aikido? Yeah, I think Aikido was the one that the Japanese developed specifically to fight people with a sword. But the idea is like you stop someone from advancing by kicking low into the knee. All right, okay, sorry. Oh, finish you off, then I'm gonna. Oh. Okay. I can hold down, up. No, it's not gonna. Oh man. Well, let's try that again. Well, there's not a long loading scene either. It's just like, here, you screwed up. Try again. He's running away? It's not bad. Alright, that's one. Spear guy. Yeah, much better that time.
They're samurai horses. A few we didn't take into battle.
Lucky for them.
So samurai horses in this
That's
case, referring to
which horse do you
horses that
want?
are apparently have a little bit of caparazoning, but even in Japan, ooh, we get to select a horse. Oh man. So we got dark brown, we got white, and we got dapple gray. I am a sucker for a good dapple. Yep.
Easy there.
He suits you.
And he needs a name.
Nobu, Sora, or Kage. Well, Sora's a little too Kingdom Hearts for me. Nobu, trust or shadow? All right, chat, trust or shadow? Give me an opinion here, folks. Nobody? Really? Nobody's an opinion on what to name the horse? God, I can't believe it, man. Normally people are like, Nobu, Nobu, Nobu. All right, Nobu wins. Oh, Shadow. Oh, man. Kage, Kage. We got 2 for Kage, 1 for Nobu. Shadow, Shadow, Trust. Man, I kind of like Kage. We're going to go with Kage.
Born from the darkness.
So, all right. You have chosen to name your horse Kage, Shadow. You'll be a company's name for your entire journey. Are you sure? Jeffrey. Hey, man, when life slips you a Jeffrey, you just got to stroke the fuzzy balls. I feel like the only reason they're letting us name the horse is because they're going to kill the horse at some point. That's the only reason a game like this does that. Like, we want you to become attached to delay check. I just saw it. They want you to become attached to the horse so that later on, when the horse dies, you will care. How long was that? Oh yeah, it's the Fable 2 trick. You got to kill the dog, man. Or save the cat. There's the actual film version of it, which is they put cats or dogs in films specifically so that they will save them or die, and thus establish things about your character. It's a really, really old filmmaking trick. I have a background in film, by the way, which is why I've seen all the Kurosawa films.
We could cause a distraction.
Like
Sneaky.
this is, I think, Ran,
walk in the front
Kagemusha, both
Put in
have
constant
these
fire
really
to our
huge
best
sequences with
Humiliated
citadels
my
and stuff
uncle.
that have been assaulted.
Butchered the warriors of Tsushima. I'm going to repay his kindness.
By repeating the same mistakes that got your friends killed.
Yeah,
That's
running in
what the
and
Mongols will
stabbing
think.
people does not appear to
This
work in
time,
this game. Like,
I'll
any more than about
strike
3 really useless guys. You can imagine fighting an
here
actual
until I
Mongol
finish them.
warlord. Challenge the Mongol to a standoff. Standoff. When approaching enemy territory, you can challenge foes to a standoff. When your enemy approaches, hold triangle. As soon as they attack, release triangle. Defeat them in 1 deadly strike. Standoff.
I've come for Lord Shimura.
Okay. Press and hold triangle. I guess I draw one of the Oh, that is really satisfying. You, that's good. That's blocked. Stab was not necessary, but I really wanted
I'm
to
so
do it.
surprised.
Reverse edge action.
What's all that noise?
Oh my god, what was the name of that anime?
Mongols fired
It
them
got
off
turned
at the
into a
beach.
really terrible film, and I can't remember the name of it. I just remember it's called Samurai X initially. That was not the name of what this show was, though. The guy had like a reverse edge. I pressed it to heal. Come on. This game is really Kenshin, Rorody Kenshin. That's it. Thank you. Yes, remember the guys who made that particular one made it so that specifically he designed someone that would look like the most badass samurai in the world, and then he drew the exact opposite of that, and that's the one that came in. But because he looked too like effeminate, they had to give him like a face scar just to make him look a little more badass. Sorry, Taylor. I would have went with Trust if I had seen you earlier right there. Unfortunately, the delay is a little strong. Are you a person? Oh no, you killed him. Good job. You aren't useless. This is not a Natalia quest or goal. It's like follow along. He does have a bit of a wind-up on his first attack. I know. So you gotta kind of plan for it. Man, stepping into it even, give it extra power. God, I really thought about my combat. That stepping into it right there.
Keep moving.
Yeah, they're probably really are. My guess is they have it on pause, or maybe they stepped away from it. Pause and stuff like that. Yeah, a lot of games don't have started to figure out that you really don't want to have to babysit your friends' whole games, so they really worked on making NPCs feel valuable. And I especially don't like it when games have it where if your NPC ally dies, it harms you. So this game also apparently makes it where they seem to be invincible. It definitely makes it a lot more, or even concentrating on itself. Oh, staggered. Oh no! There we go. Got him. You can cut through doors. What? God. Sorry. I'm gonna cut through a door now. I mean, they should be like paper and wood doors, so I mean, completely possible. There is an open world, yeah. Right now, in this particular, we're still at the very beginning, but I know it opens into a big open world.
Fall back.
Alone?
Keep the path clear.
Because, I mean, there's a wind you have to summon that kind of guides you between the places.
I'll get the horses ready.
Assuming it's quite large.
If I'm not back soon, ride for the forest.
Oh, come on. I was thinking a drink. Okay. Look like you have to hit him twice to stagger him instead of just the once. So that's interesting. Yep. Well, the other one is multiple times, so that makes sense. Because he has a shield. So, yeah, Mongolians with shields. Find a paper door to cut, though. Come on. Oh wow, that guy was really dead. Yeah, I like that it's not just sort of like a glowing trail, or that they sort of found the way to, you know, reattach it back into the main story and the art style of it. That wind, you know, as you're saying, is really important to the story that's going on in the history of the environment. So it's cool they doubled down on that. Parried. I'm impressed, guy. Good work, parrying my sword. Dodging arrows. Before dodging arrows, Mongol archers will call out and signal their allies to duck. Okay. Interesting. Okay. That was not what I thought was going to be dodged. Oh, let's try this again. Yeah. Gives me extra XP. That's the only reason I'm doing that. Peasants use them. Yet again, it's just heavily armored versus not, I would assume. It's one of those things that the guys who can afford armor don't need a good shield. Or don't need a shield, you got the good armor instead. Okay, there's not a lot of reason to let me up here. Thought there was going to be. Normally this game seems like the type that's going to have things hidden around the edges to let you collect. May not be far enough along to let it happen yet. What is run? Standoff. Yes, please. miss it now.
Samurai!
Oh, that is really satisfying. Oh, that was nice. Ah, come on. You know, when you can make the parry, it is really cool. I think I need to really work on doing that. Yeah, that little forelock where it's just kind of flopping over the front of their face. That Mongolian haircut. And I'm wondering if he's going to get the classic bun you can get, the samurai bun. So I'm going to call it now. We're at the very beginning of the game. So we're going to have a duel with this guy. We're going to go killing him one by one. Instead of killing him, we're going to get wounded. We're going to get tossed off that bridge that we're on right now.
I have come to avenge his honor.
Your uncle has told me much about you, Jin Sakai. I will show him his nephew, broken and humiliated, begging to join the Mongol Empire. Jin. This is your time, Lord Sakai.
Nothing about this is
Come here today. Your uncle is watching.
spamming X. I don't know if it makes a difference or not.
Submit, Lord Sakai. Slit your throat.
Yeah, when you go to fight someone and wherever you go to hit him, it locks first. That's when you know you're screwed, as you said. You get one good hit on him in the game. It's like, all right, that's enough. You're done.
Bring peace to your home. Save yourself.
Yeah, the Mongolians don't get enough credit for. Wow, that was cowardly. No honor in that move. He deserved to get like thrown off the bridge on that one. Yeah, I like how, like you said, the Mongolians are depicted as generals and masters of war, which is exactly what they were. I mean, you don't take over the entirety of China by being shit at that.
Father.
I definitely think that's a case of later history sort of upplaying them being crazy barbarians and trying to make it sound like, I don't know, it's just that kind of weird thing. It's like you want to make sure that these people are demonized as you move forward and not celebrated. But then again, it's like, well, you know, they did kind of take over and do great things. That sort of back and forth of it. The veneration of the armor and the ancestor spirits is always something that's interesting. You know, the armor always had a special place in the house.
Lord Sakai.
See, 1278, yeah, they would. It'd be very early gunpowder, but it would be gunpowder. Do they have any gunpowder in this game? Does anybody know if it shows up as like a bomb sort of thing? Maybe all but about the only thing you'd see, maybe a couple rockets.
The whole
It might be in here. And again, tatami mat, central hearth, cooking pot.
You are now the master of Clan Sakai.
Yes. I don't have a sword. I want to cut through these walls.
Your father is the wind at your back. Your mother, the birds in the trees.
And Uncle?
He will tell you at your father's pyre.
Thank you, Yuriko.
I mean, and we're probably never going to come back to this location, but it's so beautifully modeled. Something I'd read is that this game is only, I think, 18 gigs in size as compared to the 180 gigs of Red Dead Redemption. And I gotta say, this game is just stunning. You know, so it's like, where
If
is
you
that
ever need
additional
guidance,
100 gigs
Clan
going
Adachi
for some of the
will
other
help you.
games? Man, they definitely make you feel the emotion of this moment. You got the bloom on high coming from the suns.
Protected the people above all else. A true samurai.
Does that make him a Shinto priest? The white robes and the thing around his neck? I think that makes him a Shinto priest. Yeah, there's another one right there.
Couldn't save him. I was a coward.
You were just like 12.
You are samurai.
He died because of me.
Your father fell in battle saving his only son. His reward is a warrior's death. Now you will carry on his legacy. Your father's spirit resides within this blade.
Exactly. 12 and no weapons. You can't really be expected to do a whole heck of a lot.
He is always
But
with
that
you.
doesn't mean you don't feel guilty about it anyway.
Tomorrow, you will come to my fortress as my ward. Today, say goodbye to your father.
Which sounds super altruistic until you realize that also means he gains control of the kid's lands for the next 6 years and all the taxes. But hey, you know, don't worry. You've had a rough day, buddy. Like a really rough day. Like maybe lay down and take a nap or something, because you earned it.
Father. How do I save him?
There's that wind again. It's the wind of change. This is what we were talking about a minute ago. So in this game, the wind leads you to whatever your next objective is. So if you ever want to summon the wind, are those crabs on the ground? Oh, there's a little crab. Ah, come here. Oh, they burrowed away. Well, that's actually kind of fun. So yeah, if you follow the wind, and it takes you to wherever you need to go next. Yeah, Buddy's tough. Well, let's give him credit here. He is tough. Get that tall grass. Ooh, nice grass depression. Leaves a little trail as you walk. I think you can pet all the animals. What's that up there? That's an animal. Oh, there's lots of deer. Can I? Nope. Nope. Not gonna let me hunt the deer. That's legit. Too early for that sort of thing. Can I mud? Oh, look at that. You can actually see the mud splashing over his boots. Ah, man. So those levels of attention to detail that I always find stunning in worlds like this, especially in the natural world. People don't really spend as much time on it. I mean, it's not quite horses pooping and testicles that shrink up, but yeah, it has its own moments. What is that? Mongolians. I really am trying not to say it like South Park, by the way, right now. I want everyone to know that. But I'm trying not to say Mongolians like they say Mongolians in South Park. Because I keep thinking about it that way.
What happened?
I found Lord Shimura. I could have saved him. But the Khan was there.
I failed, my uncle.
At least you're in one piece.
I swore to protect this island with my life. But now the Mongols have stolen our home. Killed our samurai.
Yes, Paul, just like that.
You forgot what it's like to fight someone.
Yeah, I mean, the people who made this clearly are inspired by the recent Zelda games. I mean, you can't... it's hard to...
Sometimes when you're
the amount of influence that that particular game has had on game design and what games will look like for the next 5 years, I'm really interested to see what Breath of the Wild kind of does to change how games feel, as far as giving you more of a sense of space and agency as a player.
Unless we find new ways to surprise him. That's how we'll save Lord Shimura and retake our home.
I haven't seen Gino. Gino saying, "What are my thoughts on some people's thoughts that glorifies propagation, glorification of Japanese samurai culture?" I've heard it both ways. I've heard that a lot of people that are Japanese or Japanese in origin. Am I running away? This feels like I should be running away. Yep, I should be running away. Yep, I was seen. Sorry, I was going to answer that question. Instead, I missed my game prompt. I've heard it that basically a lot of the Japanese historians were really impressed that this game actually plays it pretty close, which is impressive. Mostly, it gets a little off, and people miss this sort of stuff, and do like these gross mischaracterizations and combine centuries into one. Any game that takes place in history can always be said that it glorifies like a culture. I mean, if I were to set a game right now in World War II. In the United States, you could say that we're glorifying American expansionist and then militaristic tendencies. So I personally, as a historian and archaeologist, have never really felt that particular game holds water. Like, if we're showing that how, the Chinese are being horrible people and the Japanese are all like saviors in this, okay, well then yeah, you have an argument. But that doesn't appear to be what's going on here. I called my horse and it ran past me? Seriously?
Nice trick.
Kagi, Kogi, Kaga, Shadow.
The Mongols must be hunting you.
Shadowfax.
We should split up.
That's what I was
draw
thinking
their
of.
attention while you escape.
I'm not leaving your side until we've
I mean, it's the
saved
same
my
sort of
brother.
idea. Like, if you ever have a Crusades game and you're playing as a Crusader fighting in the Crusades, well, man, there's a lot of like serious baggage that comes with that, and so you have to be really careful about how you present it. Most recently, the film Kingdom of Heaven, it had to really toe a very fine line and showed two different perspectives on the same thing.
You dream it?
So that's one that definitely sort of.
Where are they holding him?
He was captured.
Right there and ask around. I'll join you soon.
Taka won't last long in the Mongol cage.
I don't remember what the other name was other than Trust. I think it was like Tofu, Tofu. I'm gonna call him Tofu. The horse's name is now Tofu. Yeah, but you can tell it's a samurai's horse also because of the build of the horse. War horses, of the random things I've made a study of in my life, war horses is one of them. But the build of a war horse, especially European war horses, is different than your typical horse. They're typically a little burlier, what we would consider closer to a hunter today, or like a fox hunting horse. They're not really heavy animals like draft horses, like you see much later. When you think Clydesdales and stuff, they're much too big. But this sort of like really beefy, muscular neck, strong flanks, more about stamina and power and the ability to get up to speed quickly. Golly, game! God. Just like, hey, hold my beer, let me show you something beautiful. Damn. Jeez. Oh, this could... The thing is, when video games are at their best, when video games are really at their best, they do something even movies can't, and just capture worlds with such amazing artistic merit to them. Whew. I know Nobunaga is definitely one of those Japanese names who's a major warlord in a later period. We're currently on Tsushima Island. And it wants us to explore Tsushima to discover new locations. This is a tale Warrior's Code, Yuna searching complete tales to build your legend and acquire new resources. Okay, like assassination, that sounds useful. As your legend grows, you will learn more new techniques. Currently, we are broken samurai. And this is the main quest. Okay, so we want to track that and go back out. Valhalla does look fun, and I'm very much excited about Valhalla, and I'm kind of streaming this now with the intention that when Valhalla comes out, I'll get that one as well, because I have a hell of a lot more to say as far as historical merit goes for Valhalla, because I did my master's degree on depictions of early Middle Ages combat, specifically Vikings and the early Middle Ages right there. Assassin's Creed actually had a really interesting article come out today. Did I just jump off my horse? I did. Assassin's Creed had an article that came out today that was talking about the use of female protagonists in the game. And apparently it's something they were kind of trying for a couple of years there, was to have a female-led Assassin's Creed game. And when they were designing Origins, they actually designed it with Anya, the wife, being the assassin. It wasn't until really late in production that the head of Ubisoft, changed it to make it where Bayek was the main guy. You originally were supposed to play Bayek up until like maybe a quarter of the way through, and then he was supposed to die and you take over as her, which makes so much more sense to the story, because like he's not an assassin. That was never really his story, and I never could figure out why we would suddenly jump over to her, and I guess they could never figure out how to make it work for him either. So it was just like, oh yeah, that makes way more sense as to what they were going for. I don't, Mo Spaghetti asked if I'm going to point out all the historical inaccuracies. I don't like doing that, particularly. Like, if it's something, like, horribly egregious, I'll do it. But otherwise, not so much. Just because it's not fun, you know? Like, you can point it out, and it can be kind of interesting, and make it as you go through. But, I mean, generally people know that, like, a two-handed sword is not something that should appear in that era. And yet, for some reason, they make it there anyway. Hopefully, there's going to be plenty of stuff in there that's going to be accurate and cool to look at that you can point out, instead of having to point out all the crap it's not. Does that make sense? Like, you hope for the positive instead of the negative. Okay, I was told I can chop through doors. That is not a door I can chop through. How about... Where's my front door? That is not a paper door. That's a real door. Oh, here we go. Ready? I expected something a little different right there, frankly, when that door opened. Oop, that's a person. Don't want to... Well, so the katana, as we know it, didn't come into use until the 1300s, but the shape of the katana and roughly the build of it was basically the same. So what we consider katana is really like multi-folded steel and the technique behind it, but the long curved blade was still in existence. So for the average person, they're basically indistinguishable. Okay, the guy did say clear out the end, right?
I'm right here.
Okay, there's just a dude I missed. Alright, apparently it just like jumped on me right there. How did that happen? Press it earlier, I guess. That was odd. Oh, hello, that guy's got a giant mace. Ha! You ever see someone like, you look dangerous. You know, fat and slow. Which apparently does not make him any less dangerous. I really do not think Tubby could move that fast. I was going to try and get out of his way. Mace Windu. Nice. That's good. Why do they have giant pots around the side of the buildings? Because they don't have refrigerators, and those are refrigerators, basically. They're large storage containers, typically either like sake or rice or whatever else, but basically they're just like refrigerators. You know, you have them outside your house, ready to go out there. Did I clear it out except for that one guy? Yeah, okay, let's do this correctly this time. So it should prompt me when to press it. There it goes. Come on. Come on. Oh, so much easier. That's really satisfying when you do it correctly. Alright. There's the mace guy again. You, and I gotta watch out now because you have 2 hits. Or 3 hits. So how many hits do you have? Apparently not enough to save you. That's right. But I'm gonna loot you because apparently you had good stuff on you because you were like an elite guy. So that's good to know. Kill the elite guy. So yeah, these are like, so actually, like in this case, you'll see it has that little ladle over the top of it. So this is probably to collect rainwater, if I had to guess. Normally there'd be a spout or a spigot or something like that. It would drain right there. It's an easy source of rainwater. You know, it's a really traditional thing to do. Where this door goes? It seems like a crawl space beneath the house. Nope, no, it just goes right in the house. It's sort of like a doggy door. Huh, I don't think it's accurate, but it's close. What? Not know the guy was there, but I was going to start shopping. Assume he was. Paper door. I really was hoping it'd make like a diagonal cut right there. I don't know what I was hoping. Maybe I know, but I'm not sure if it's accurate, but I'm going to go around cutting people's nice paper doors. Oh. Dodge around. Good to know. I'll just happy to death. Yeah, smaller, more level barrels, as you pointed out, probably more accurate. Oh, come on. Oh shit, that guy is in really nice armor. How do I run away? Bravely run away. Bravely run away. Bravely run away. Just gonna keep bravely backing up. Damn. Okay. Okay, that was actually a really hard battle right there. I didn't expect that. Did we kick his leg out from under him? That was really cool. I love that death animation right there. Okay. This is your air conditioning. What if we hit the barrel? Come on. Hit the barrel. Nope, almost hit the barrel. I was wondering if it was like a Zelda sort of thing where you almost hit the pot and like crack it open or something, but apparently not. Alright, so we just cleared out this area, and I think I looted everything of value inside, but let's find out. Here's another crawl space. Oh no, I can actually get up under the house. Oh, so this is probably where the ninja stuff comes in. Like you can sneak around and like shank people from like, cut some Achilles tendons and all that. Oof. Man, that can get really brutal. Sudoku Jedi. Yeah. Like also the horse doesn't have a limited distance, it just summons your horse to you. That is one of the things I do not like about Breath of the Wild, is that occasionally it your horse is not near you. Okay, so apparently if you hold down the little touchpad thing, it'll bring up some options there, and like one of them is the wind, and you follow the wind, and the wind is pointing me this way, because that's the way I want to go. Okay, I keep thinking X is going to make me go faster. It does not. Triggers don't make me go faster. Also, O is dismount. One of these has got to be run. Come on! Ah, it's left thumbstick. Left thumbstick is run. I don't feel like they mentioned that at any point. Huh, what a lovely fishing village, full of Mongols. Be a shame if someone came in and shanked them all. Speak with Yuna, who's 30 meters away. Is she surrounded by Mongols?
Jin, you found
Nope, she's surrounded by fishermen. Okay, sorry. And dead Mongols, because she's a badass.
You handle that well.
I should have heard him coming. Let myself get distracted. These people saw Mongols marching prisoners upriver. They had a blacksmith
we're
with
going
them.
upriver.
Your brother?
Sounds like it. They
Also,
were taking him to a
blacksmith
camp
very useful
near
in
the
this
Canada
game.
Inlet.
I know the place.
Morse code. Okay. Yeah, I can definitely see how shanking people will be super
Did you
useful
find
in
any
this game.
samurai to free your uncle?
Not yet, but I'm still searching.
I'm sure you'll find someone soon.
That's your horse. This is my horse. Shadowfax, Lord of Horses.
Taka can help you, after we save him. Hard to believe I might see him soon.
He's lucky to have you.
He might
Lovely
disagree.
music.
That's what siblings are for.
What about you? Any brothers or sisters?
Lord Shimura is my only family.
What will you do when he's free?
Take a
Oh,
breath,
this is the main story mission?
because
No.
then I'll know there's hope for our island.
You feel
I
that
think it starts to
strongly?
branch out. Like, at
I've
the moment
watched
I only
him
had
win
2
victory
options,
against
so I assume she
impossible
would be the
odds.
not main story option.
And after your brother is free, what then?
Honestly, I haven't had time to think about it.
Oh, supplies. I can loot from horseback. That's awesome. Oh, you gotta go this way, huh? A little burned out horse cart right there. Didn't dissuade you. I should be looting all these places. Like, I feel like I should be exploring, making sure there's nothing in here that can't be looted. But it looks like everything's been pretty ransacked, so I don't think I'm missing much. Sure, just in case. Be sure to get flowers. They are useful currency. Flowers. Did I pass a flower? Like, I feel like there's one of these games that they're going to tell me all this eventually. They just haven't like revealed it to me yet. Normally they're like, "Hey, collect thing," and then they show you the first one for free. Nope, still going the right way.
Let's go.
I don't really want to like speed ride right now.
You're riding well.
Because there's just so much to see.
How are your wounds?
Mostly healed. Your bandages did the trick.
Although me falling
don't
off a
share much
bridge
about
and
how you
landing in the
feel,
ocean,
do you?
Yeah, it didn't help the matter at all.
I suppose you're right. My uncle taught me that a samurai masters his emotions, like you master a horse or a blade.
That's a hard way to live.
It's not supposed to be easy.
Oh, I assume that's one of those things then that you just kind of got to keep looking and looking and looking. You'll come across more and more. Do they replenish like an herb in like Skyrim, or are they limited number? Sorry, this river looks really interesting. It's kind of, this is oddly shaped. Different prefectures. Okay. It's not only just the samurai armors either. It's different. There's ninja armors, there's peasant armors, there's a whole bunch of different stuff you can dress up as apparently. And each one of them has like different stat bonuses as well. Reach and overlook for the mobile camp. This is where it's over here. Okay, that's where it is. Hello.
Let's go.
Thing in the road. What is this? This is supplies. Me and Shadowfax are exploring here. Getting, whoop, bamboo. That seems useful. It's bamboo. Some good special abilities. I like gathering random things and it gives you special stuff. That's cool. I always like that in games because it encourages exploration. Any game that encourages exploration. Is this a climbing sequence? This feels like a climbing sequence. I'm supposed to climb. Am I supposed to climb? That's an overlook. Hello, hole in the game world. How are you? Fun to find you here. Fancy meeting you. Oh wow, they make climbing easy. That's nice. Making a cutting board. Oh, out of bamboo. Definitely be renewable. Gotta be resources on that. Hey Shevis, by the way, what do you think about the fact that Rocket League is going free to play? Oh wow, that's a lot of those flowers you were talking about right there. Look at these things. Apparently Epic Games Store free only. lot of stuff up here. I mean, I feel like this is an overlook. Am I overlooking them? Oh, look, you can see the ships out in the harbor and a really distant castle. Ass. I don't really want to climb down. I'm just going to keep hanging out here, actually. I'm going to whistle for my horse, because I can do that. And he always appears from behind me. I love that mechanic from The Witcher. This is probably Red Dead that ever did the first one, though.
There's a spot up ahead that overlooks the river.
Horse. Should give us a good view of the Mongol camp.
I was lucky enough a couple of years ago to actually see an original cut of Seven Samurai on the original 35mm print. Altogether, it was 125 pounds worth of film on, I think, 6 different reels. But they happened to bring it into the university town I was living in at the time. And seeing that film in the original 35mm was breathtaking. Okay, I get it. Wrong place. Oh my goodness. Oh, it's a gorgeous game. Also, apparently, it's a day-night cycle because it's getting dark. Okay, so I think I'm going to go down here, I guess. I don't know. Larry McFart, which, fantastic name on your part. Yeah, it's a gorgeous game. The moment I started seeing that the reviews came in and they said it was positive, I'm like, yeah, please. I've always been down with sort of the, you know, beautiful scenery simulators. I've always enjoyed this sort of games, so this is right up my alley. And Chevis talking about Rocket League right there. The reason I mention this to Chevis, who's talking there, is that I'm actually a coach for a Rocket League team in a high school, or I was. We don't have any competitors this year, and everything's screwy, so we probably won't have it. But Rocket League is a...
Hey!
Oh my lord! Okay, you want me to go somewhere, reach an overlook by the Mongol prison camp. Okay, where does the wind want me to go? Wind wants me to go this way. They want me to go someplace really specific, wind. Like, this is... Okay, there it is.
Let's go.
I was like, this game is wanting me to do something really specific. They give me a damn icon. And then they do, because it's a good game.
There's the camp. Tough to get inside.
The Mongols threw that place together in days. There has to be a way in. Let's look.
I would love to do more interviews with mod authors, and I've actually asked a couple people to do it, and some of them are very... Here's the thing. Mod authors, in general, are somewhat reticent to speak. They're not really public individuals, so it's been kind of difficult to convince them to really do it.
If they're loose, they might give way. Alert the guards.
I talked with K-Taff, and he apparently doesn't speak English very well, so he wasn't super into it. I've reached out to, I think, Mixu. Did I reach out to Mixu? I can't remember. So I'm waiting to hear back from a couple guys, but I definitely want to keep doing the mod author stuff. Drunk Flamingo I've talked with for years, or about a year now, so he's good any time. But he's sort of, I'm waiting to time his closer to the next release for the Shield Wall update. They're doing a Great Vikings Army release, and he's getting pushed back and pushed back and pushed back, but hopefully in the next couple weeks I'll be able to get something for him.
What's wrong with
But it's been cool because I've been able to do the whole thing where I get
Before the samurai, this island
where I get
ruled
outside sponsorships, and I can, you know, do the sponsorships to the people. It's been really cool actually to be able to give that money back, which has been a lot of fun.
live by a code of
To be able to also help myself and help other people. Everybody
We
wins.
die by it.
Modding is not that difficult, Polyphemus, so like, what specifically do you want to do? Because I can actually walk you through every aspect of it right now.
We have to
That's been the kind of the fun part for me, is really expanding my knowledge base and then kind of putting that into effect. Because it's funny, once you get deeper into it, there's not that big of a community for Warhammer and Total War in
to
general.
save my family.
So you can kind of find
what's
and meet
left
everybody
of
pretty
yours?
quick. Yeah, if you have a rigid sense of honor, you need to be like the bamboo
get a
and
closer
bend
look.
instead of like the
See
oak,
what we're
which
up against.
snaps.
We
Which
should
almost
wait until it
sounds
gets dark.
metaphorical. You have a Discord, Larry McFart. Exciting for you. Don't break your code. Find the camp gate.
Kaka. He's been through a lot, even before the invasion.
But you took care of him.
Someone had to. He hated when I stole.
Been a fun 5 minutes. Well, thanks for tuning in, man. Have a good time out at work.
Choice.
I
Don't know
didn't
where you're
choose to
working,
be samurai
where you'd be at work this time of day, but go for it.
Going against my instincts.
Yeah,
code.
will
Better than getting wiped out by
Indianize
the
and form
Mongols.
on Japan
We
time.
have to fight back. Any way we can.
Yeah, my understanding is that the Khans, when they actually came in, pretty much blended back into Chinese culture. It wasn't like the armies themselves suddenly became like all giant Khan armies. It's just they happened to sort of overtake the government. Like within a generation or two, it was largely indistinguishable. It's always been the impression that I got, is that they were very much assimilated back into the larger culture. Oh yeah? What mod did you inspire? Yeah, I suppose you'd have to be super adaptive living on the Mongolian plains.
Then we better stay quiet. And open their throats.
I love this lady. Stay quiet and shank the bitches. Stab him in the kidney. Cut him. Leave you. Cut you. Leave you. Bleed you. No, bleed you. I can't remember. It's Predator. The mammoth skull hat. Jin, don't do it, my boy. So what happens? Do I have the option of standing up and doing it like totally honorably? Or do I have to shank this guy right here? Because it feels like I should have the option of like being like, I challenge you instead. Ah, he won't let me. Here. Here, here. That's right. Oh, it really won't let me fight him honorably at all. So Naganatas are the horse, you know, those really long swords, and my understanding is they really don't become popular until later eras, sort of like how two-handed swords don't become popular or possible even in medieval Europe until later. It's just a certain amount of steel craft. So to have a steel well made enough that it doesn't splinter as the sword gets longer, you have to have more advanced steel, and that's part of the katana. So I think Naganatas don't really appear probably about the same time they appear in Europe, or, you know, 1300s there, just because that type of weapon requires a technological advancement that isn't there yet. Now, that doesn't mean it's not going to be in this game. I mean, they're iconic and really cool, so they'll probably make an appearance somewhere.
What do you think, Jin?
The bear's running with a limp. Your arrow wounded him.
This is when a beast is most dangerous.
The wounded beast.
Yes, sir.
Classic lesson to teach a child when hunting bear. This is not the time for a lesson if you're hunting bear. We're also learning how to use bows and track things. So I don't have Witcher sense, just
I don't think bears lived here.
They don't.
I'm sorry, you were correct. Naginata and Nodachi are not the same thing. I was thinking of Nodachi, not Naginata. My mistake. Okay, there should be Naginata in the game. Naginata is just basically a polearm. And I think that, like the other ones, though, they do appear a little later, but polearms as a concept have been around for a very, very long time. So I would expect to see a Naginata at some point. I was thinking of the Nodachi, which is the big two-handed sword, not the spear, like the spear polearm. You can't get a Naginata? Oh, that sucks. Kind of want one now. I love big two-handed swords. Always my favorite thing in games. Cut through multiple enemies at once.
Is it dying?
No, but we're getting closer.
Study more tracks. I'm just looking where the bear went. I feel like I'm playing Hunter Call of the Wild again. Just like, you know, tracking an animal through the forest. Except here, it's a bear. It'll actually do something. So, the Nodachi are anti-cavalry. Same way that the Chinese developed something very similar. The idea is that you have a sword that long because you need additional reach. It's not something you would normally use in like one-on-one combat. It has a purpose, sort of like two-handed swords in Europe, where you're using it for a specific thing. Like you reach up and swipe someone coming at you, or you're using it to clear out polearm infantry, things like that. Any situation where you need like a longer, bigger reach sort of thing. Love that mist and god rays. Oh man, bear went through the fence.
We got him.
Careful. He could still be alive.
Yeah, let's put an extra arrow in him right now, just to make sure.
This arrow should not have killed him.
This arrow did not kill him, because he's bleeding on the back end. Yep, his entrails have been cut open. Something else has already been here.
Look, Uncle. There's a gash in his side. Not from an arrow.
Yep, already said that.
An assassin! From Yarikawa!
Traitor! You would stab the Chido in the back!
Rosakai! Control yourself.
So I don't really want to go full ninja. I definitely prefer the samurai route. I've heard Ronin's sort of halfway between the two. Is that correct? Like instead of going full samurai or full ninja, there's like a halfway option they call Ronin here.
And look him in the eye.
Yeah, Japan has wolves too, or at least they did until, you know, a couple hundred years ago. Keep in mind, this is 1200s, late 1200s, so the animal population, especially predators, is a little different. But I know in the northernmost provinces, they still have bears. Is that just sitting there waiting to be killed? Like, what the fuck? I love that. I'm an honorable assassin. I will wait for you to kill me.
Face our enemy head on.
Would.
When we take their life, we look them in the eye with courage and respect.
Oh, that's what the point of this scene was, to make sure that you knew that you just stabbed a man in the back, and that's what you're thinking about. It's funny, because depending on the media outlet, some people were criticizing this game for not having enough character development, but I mean, that's a hell of a character moment right there. I mean, there were lions in England a long time ago, but I mean, there were bears and wolves in England as well until probably the 1300s, so that'd be probably more accurate. Lions are much further back than that. Here's a fun one, though. Did you know there were crocodiles in England for about 100 years? Possibly still. Apparently someone brought some crocodiles back to live in the Tower of London, like menagerie, for a couple of years, and then they got out during a flood, and they made it into the Thames River. And after that, there were stories for years and years afterwards where these crocodiles would go up and attack people and like pull them into the River Thames in England. And so there's like several stories of like these like knights going out and fighting dragons. Press blank to use focus hearing, revealing enemy positions. There have been lions in England even more recently in zoos and stuff, but like wild lions were a little bit further back than that. I mean, there were lions in North America until, you know, people showed up. We have a tendency to murder things. Shank. You know, I kind of feel bad shanking all these people. I mean, clearly this is a shanking sequence. This is what I'm supposed to be doing. But I mean, still, I feel like maybe... I feel like it's not the samurai way. People showing up as leading cause of extinction. Yeah, we are. That is what a couple of years of anthropology taught me, is that basically, if you want to find out, you can actually chart the extinction of the mammoth, depending on exactly when humans arrived. Like within 100 years, every single time, we kill all the mammoths. I'm not sure what it was about mammoth meat, but by God, we loved eating those suckers. You can loot the last thing.
You know, is that?
Alright, so let me go back over and loot where the thing was.
Good.
I can loot the thing. Thing. Loot the yellow thing with the yellow lights. I'm missing something. The yellow lights. There's a thing with yellow lights. Thing with yellow lights. Oh, dude, yeah. Mammoths were the bee's knees as far as... Oh, there they are. Yeah, as far as, like, having resources go, mammoth is a walking storehouse of marrow, fat, bones, tissue. I mean, there's so much stuff that a mammoth can provide. Interestingly, fatty meats are definitely more preferential as far as options go. Is this guy dead? Okay, I guess he killed me. Alright, more people up there. Oh, is this just Witcher mode where it reveals like where shit is nearby that you want? I think it is. Let me see. Oh, hey, look, there's a guy who's been ignoring me this entire time as I ran around. Yep, it's just the Witcher sense. Every game has something like that now, which is fine. I mean, it serves a purpose. Assassin's Creed, they all have. It's like Eagle Vision or whatever. It's like, hey, here's game objects in the world. You need to loot. There's a chest. Man, they make you move slow when it's on, though. Jeez, that is a movement penalty. And a half. Paul committed seppuku. Oh, no. Paul did actually... no, actually, I committed seppuku in a short film one time. When I was in high school, I had to film a movie, and at the end of it, we got like chicken giblets and chicken livers and like fake blood, and I had to film fake committing seppuku. In a very uncultured area. But man, they thought that film was great. Yurt. Do love that they bring their yurts with them. Just a quick reminder, they are Mongolian in case you forgot for like 2 seconds. It's a really nice yurt. Ooh, Sakai Katana upgrade visible. Visit a swordsmith to upgrade. So in other words, save the swordsmith and then upgrade. It's a thing. Can I chop through? Can I chop through the cloth? Oh, this is cloth. I should be able to chop through this. Ah! I did it on purpose. Mongol artifacts. Yeah. Thank you for telling me to check it. I was going back in. So, sneak around and find this guy, who should be right over here somewhere. Come on, I'm totally sneaking up on him.
No, it's not.
And this sucks. The only reason I do that is because I want the points. I want to make that clear. Like, I would not normally do that. Like, let him bleed. Oh, man. That would suck. Yeah, Skysweeper is warning me that apparently later on you burn the camps and you may burn the artifacts as well. Anything up here? I'm kind of curious what's up here. A platform. That's it. Is there fall damage? It won't let me find out.
Let's get to the river.
Get to the river. There's fall damage.
We'll be safe there.
Good to know. Some games don't have it. This one clearly does. Although this guy apparently can't manage like a forward roll.
Are you with the Straw Hat Ronin?
I was. Cut ties with them after they started running low on rations.
Lord Shimura's been captured, and I could use some extra swords to free him. Are you looking for work?
No, but the other Straw Hats may be. Last I heard, they were hunting Mongols in Tsutsu Prefecture.
In case you're wondering, people who may not know the word Ronin, Ronin are basically masterless samurai. Think of them sort of like mercenaries. So they're sort of like soldiers that haven't sworn to a lord yet, and so you can kind of go back and forth. If I was a Witcher, you would die. That is one of the weirder things in Witcher 3, is anything more than a 3-foot fall instantly kills Geralt.
This way.
Hey, look. I literally fell this last week and hurt myself quite badly. I was holding a baby at the time who had just pooped himself badly enough that he had then pooped himself and was smearing it down the hallway. It was like scooting along, and I was like, oh man. So I went to pick him up and was taking him into the room to go change him, and when I did, I slipped on a t-shirt and then had to forward roll to keep from landing on the child. So I actually did manage it, though I did come down very badly on my shoulder and left leg, and slammed into a washer and dryer loudly. But the child was not hurt, only me. So I'm going to call that a win. So yeah, forward roll, I manage it.
Osmo Bay.
The town is surrounded by walls. Rushing in without a plan will only put him in more danger.
I have a friend who might be able to get us inside.
Find him. The sooner we rescue Taka,
I like how this
the sooner
lady
we
is like
save my
setting you
uncle.
on the path of the dark side. Like they pick a
Jin.
woman, it's like Eve in the Garden of Eden. She's like, I tempt
Taka
you with
will
the
forge
fruit of
whatever tools they need
assassination.
as soon as he's free.
Come, taste of its
But after that,
terror.
we're leaving the island.
You've seen what the Mongols are doing here. Lord Shimura can stop them. Stay. Help us fight for a home.
I mean, she's clearly a gorilla. I mean, she's got other stuff to
Wherever
do, man.
Taka and I go.
Yeah, she's a peasant, man. What does she care? We'll do another prefecture.
My friend
Me and
lives in
Shadowfax
Azuma
are going to take
Prefecture,
care of this ourselves.
on the border with Tsutsu.
I'll find you there.
I know this wasn't easy.
Do you learn the ancient... I mean, do they actually give them the names of the ancient sword techniques in this? Like the falling water blade, things like that? I assume they're all named off, like I said, the Book of Five Rings. I mean, there's a lot of techniques in there. I wonder if they're going to let you do like the two... You can wield two katanas or, you know, the dodachis or the shorter ones. We went with the shadow one here. I think it was Kagi, Kogi. I keep calling him Shadowfax instead, though, because, I don't know, things sound
Convince your
funner.
people to stop resisting, and you...
Also, I couldn't remember the real name. At one point I called him Tofu, and that wasn't right.
Stop wasting my time. Kill me.
Heavenly Strike, I assume that's an overhead coming down technique. It's normally what that refers to.
Is still alive. My men control the roads. They build war camps near your towns. They see...
Oh, so Kagi Musha,
And they
which
will
is a
find him.
Kurosawa title, means something shadow. What is Musha?
Sakai will fight until his last breath.
Does anybody know Japanese here?
As will I.
Why would it be called the Heavenly Strike if it comes from the side?
Just
It feels
as
like
you
a
love your
missed
people.
opportunity.
You're a father to them. Will you abandon
That man's
your
outfit
children?
is beautiful. Also, didn't he get slashed in the face? Like, I expected like a really wicked scar. He didn't even have like a... stitches. Gained some stuff. Pretty awesome. Ah, skill trees. You have earned a technique point. Use it to learn powerful new techniques. Yeah, they heal you automatically between chapters, it seems like. I've noticed that one. They kind of give you a bit of a heads up, leg up there. All right, so I got evasion, and I got master mythic legendary stuff. The perfect parry. Parry at the last possible second to perform a deadly counterattack right before taking damage. And then you counterattack. An evasion roll. I'm going to go with a roll. The roll seems a little more useful to me. I have not mastered the parry yet, but that has been terribly useful so far. Deflection. Oh, man, why the perfect parry? I should have gone with the other one. That's what I heard. Oh, wait. I can get both of them. Okay. Where are my points? How many of these things do I have? I get both. All right, cool. Decoy of impertinent person. So Kage Musha probably means the shadow of the person. So the person's shadow, because it is about someone posing as another lord, which sort of makes sense. So yeah, that's why they use the word shadow there. Oh, you got your stances, which we were talking about a minute ago. Ghost. Oh man, there's a lot of stuff to learn here. The broken batsmith. Hold options for details. Items and resources are stored in your collections menu. My goodness, there's a lot of menus. Travelers rest in. Fast travel. Hey, there's a fast travel system. Oh, this map really reminds me of Shogun 2. Get that whole filling in with the ink style. Warrior's Quest. Legend of the Ghost. So you get your question marks. Very Witcher. Track location. Recenter. Undiscovered. Okay, what's this? It's the fishing village. Okay, so yeah, this is all the places we went to a minute ago. So there's a person here. Tale of Sensei Ishikawa. Jin's Journey. So these are all Jin's Journey. And this looks to be a major citadel that we won't be able to take until it unlocks the second half of the game, which is the northern part of the island. Okay. So I guess we'll like head towards that. Because I don't know. In the meantime, I mean, we got plenty of land to
You deserve the best.
wander around on here, so let's go for it. Yeah, the NHK Japan occasionally has morning Japanese lessons, and the lack of pronouns is sort of interesting to me. Wind to secret places. You know, that sounds terribly useful. It's like the wind takes you to wherever it needs to go. Can you use this on horseback? Oh, you can. So you have to stop. It's not going to let you like be on horseback and use it, but that makes sense. Can you fish? I don't have a fishing pole? Does feel like the game that would let you fish, though. I bet you can hunt later on. I like how to do the wind, you brush up on the D-pad and it plays like a wind noise every time. It's kind of fun. Like gold? What is that? Okay, see my horse. That is a gorgeous forest. And that is a dead body. Okay. You can hunt, I'm not sure about fishing. Yeah, typically if a game gives you a bow, they assume you're going to hunt an animal with it. Which I don't have any problems with. I'm sure a lot of people do, but I actually do hunt in real life, or I used to. In case you're wondering, hunting in the United States is an excuse to go hang out with some guys at a trailer and drink beer for 3 days. At least in the hunting lodge I was a part of, I was the only person that actually hunted, which I found hilarious. It's also why I stopped, because I just figured out it's just people escaping their wives and kids and drinking all weekend. Yeah, they said it's like an ocarina type thing, where you get a magic flute that I've heard it like changes day to night and changes weather and stuff like that. Which I mean, it's just ocarina, so it's fun that's in there though. Jeez, like really violently telling that horse to. I think there should be like a halfway trot between slow and like smacking the horse so hard that it sprints up the mountaintop. C-pie, left on the touchpad. What? You have a flute? Okay, alright. I wanna play the flute. Let's see what happens. Alright, so left on the D-pad. Oh, nice. What is this doing? Anything? Nope, it just sort of exists. Okay. Oh, it's a bamboo thicket. This is what I really wanted in life, so hold on. Let me see if this will do anything. Oh, come on, let me chop the bamboo. No. Ah. Hello, survivor camp that I did not know was here. If I chop this, will it kill it? Does anyone know? Just, like, I don't want to kill their only source of meat, but I kind of do.
Do you need anything, my lord?
A merchant selling things. I don't know what I need, so the answer is no. I don't know.
A new quiver
Hello.
or satchel?
Yes, I need both those things. I don't have a bow yet. Who are you?
May Kami protect your path, my lord.
My mother believed Inari is my guardian.
Hey, Kami, I know that.
She saw a fox chasing
one of the
fireflies
words for
outside our
Shinto
home.
gods.
There was
Thanks to
born.
Dragon Ball.
She knew that foxes are Inari's messengers in our world. When you see one, always follow where it leads.
Yeah, I've heard that's one of the interesting things about this game. If you see a fox, you follow it, and it takes you to shrines and stuff and unlock things. So if you ever come across it, fox, always follow it. Hello, random other guy. What's up with you?
My lord,
Another samurai?
anything to
Alive?
offer from your hunting?
I thought Lord Jinroku was the only one.
I don't know the name.
He's in Kashine, my lord. I'm sure he would be happy to see you.
I'm curious to meet him.
Funny mean, yeah, fatty meat. I mean, Kobe beef is the whole thing is like getting as much fat into that meat as possible. Besides increasing flavor, it's also a high source of nutrients in the period. Talk to the merchant. He's good. He swears it. Okay.
I work metals, woods, and cloth.
What's up, bud?
Sakai, you survived the invasion?
So
Oh,
far.
he knows me.
Have we met before?
No, my lord. But I watched you ride into battle. Please accept this gift. If you wear it, they say a spirit will lead you to whatever you're looking for.
Oh,
Sounds
wow.
like something you
magic
could use
finding item.
yourself.
Not with Mongols prowling the countryside. But if it leads you to any flowers,
What, if you
bring
follow
them to
Scott
me.
foxes in
Or other
Skyrim? What does
traders.
it do?
We can use them to fashion dyes.
I've always killed the
remember
foxes in Skyrim. What
Thank
happens
you.
if I follow them? Long journey ahead. Press options to view. Broken armor. Damage beyond repair. With this thing. Tracks artifacts of this. Does nothing but look cool. This does things. Yeah. Thank you for telling me to talk to this guy. I super appreciate it. I was totally not going to talk to him. Which, yeah, view upgrades. What do I have to do? Supplies and linen. So I need to start, like, looting everything. Actually, Matthew Bush, I will make your day a little brighter because I am not trying to do that. Oh my goodness! Don't make me. You're gonna make me saw this. Right? Yeah. Under audio, boom, 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 boom. You can turn the audio to Japanese, so we can have actually Japanese now, and then the original. Yes, it shouldn't make a difference. Is it gonna reload the whole game for English? Yeah, so now when they talk, they speak in Japanese with English subtitles. So you can make it to Japanese mode, which is pretty cool. Alright, trapper guy, huh? What do you got, bud? Let's talk. Yep, now it's Japanese. So ammo, leather. Right, so I don't need any of these things yet, and I don't even need to sell either. Oh man, they sound much manlier in Japanese. That's the thing about, like, there's like a certain style that you sort of expect for this sort of stuff. It's nice to hear the Japanese voice actors totally appreciate it as well. You gotta do that guttural "hoo-ga-ga-ga." That's to come from somewhere really deep down inside you. You know, strike fear into peasants. That's what always makes Toshiro Mifune just so fantastic to listen to in those old Kurosawa films. Mifune, if you've seen a Kurosawa film, you've seen Mifune. But he was a instructor flight instructor in World War II. And that's how he sort of developed that voice, is, you know, bossing people around. Talk to the merchant again. What? Oh my god, I just left that guy. I keep expecting X to make me go faster. I think that's a leftover from Breath of the Wild. I can only assume that's why I keep doing it, because I don't know why I'd be doing that otherwise. Okay. Survivor's camp should be up here somewhere. Talk to the guy again. Oh wow, that was a serious jump. Nice job. Talk to the merchant again. Yeah, I feel like this merchant is so damn important, they should have made it a little more obvious.
Sakai-sama, 生きていらしたのですね。
なんとかな。
Yeah.
どこかで会ったか。
いえ、ただご出陣のお姿を見ただけです。これをお受け取りください。お探しの者へと誘う力があると言われています。
それはお主が持っている。
猛虎が怖くて私は動けません。もし道すがら花を見つけたらここに持ってきてもらえますか。いろいろ染め直しますよ。
覚えておこう。助かった。
Oh wow.
So
yeah, this is where you're talking about where you need those flowers. Ooh, that's a nice weapon. Okay, so that's gonna be a little broader. Oh, hold on, let me see what else. I got the Snow Katana, Emperor's Tears, and the Siege. Oh, those are gorgeous. Those are just gorgeous. Armor dyes, so you can make all your stuff look different and cool. Always fun. I love games like this that they realize people like me are playing it. They're like, you like to get some crazy personalization going on. Warrior's headband. I always love the straw hats. They always look badass. I spend way too much time with things like character customization and stuff like that, so it's probably for the best that I don't have any flowers right now. I just spend all the time trying to get that perfect outfit. Oh, I know we need a hat. We need a hat so bad. I need a hat real bad right now. But I'm not gonna give me a hat yet. What's up, bud? You have something else? I appreciate it, man. Yeah, if you're one of... Normally people are like, dude, come on, you need to get the thing so you can get the specific thing that I'm about to tell you. I'm honestly surprised nobody hopped in chat yet and told me exactly how the game ends, so... I'm just going to consider myself thankful for that. Bathe in the hot springs gives back life. Yeah, sounds right. I think... Yeah, my wind is already pointed towards it. You can tell from the wind blowing by. Is this my horse? Or is this somebody else's horse? It's not my horse. It's somebody else's horse. I'm going to steal your horse. Apparently you don't care. That's good. Okay, can't go that way. You'll kill the horse.
Yeah!
Sensei Ishikawa's Dojo. Alright, that sounds useful. What are you teaching me, Sensei? Besides how to steal all your flowers. Ooh, archery guy. Yes, please. Most things end when Tom Cruise shows up, which is kind of funny because he's actually rather entertaining to watch. In movies, they give the guy a hard time, obviously, because Scientology background and all that, and being a little nutso on Oprah. But his movies are always really fun, so you can really fault him for that. And yeah, Last Samurai, if nothing else, introduced a lot of Americans to samurai culture and samurai films. And unfortunately, it makes people believe that Tom Cruise was the last samurai. I do find it interesting, though, that in samurai culture, the bow is not considered a dishonorable weapon. There's a recognition of the skill that comes with it as well. Which is kind of unique. Yeah, I like that apparently there's no, it's just like talk to people. It's not going to be as hand-holdy. It's like just walk around. Interesting. Games divided into tales. Each time you kind of do one. I'm gonna get a boat for this. Oh, look at that. Fluttering majestically. Wow, a badass. I wish there was always a wind whenever you wore a cape, just like lightly fluttering it behind you. Check it out after this quest.
最後にお会いしたのは確か10年前。
弟子志願だったな。
ご記憶とは。
門前払いした奴は忘れぬ。
なぜ私ではなく巴を弟子になさった。
お主は有望、巴は神道よ。
Standoff。
一番手は誰だ。シャマラドールチェニアボルナ。
Hi there, guys. Who's supposed to be next? You? Let's go next. Come on. I think I have a perfect block kill thing now, so I'm gonna try to do that one of these guys here. Oh, maybe not fire. Okay, maybe not, maybe not. Do I have a run? Yep, it's oh, I'm gonna kill you guys so hard when I get here. Just dodge. I need to dodge. Oh, look, I learned how to dodge. Now they're all gonna die. Where's the other guy? Where'd you go? It's just pathetic. I'm just gonna keep running at you, and then hopefully. You know, I've never seen the Mummy remake just because the old ones were so good. With Brandon Fraser, this is the first one. I love this trash. That I just never could quite understand why they tried to reboot that, especially and also shoehorn in like Russell Crowe's like Jekyll and stuff. Like they were so determined to create what they called the Dark Monsterverse from Universal that they forgot they needed to make an actual film that didn't suck. Speak with Sensei Ishikawa. As for the Hulkamania energy, well, I hear you, brother. His trail picks up after the 5 bandits that we just ran into. By half. Everybody wants an MCU. They don't want an MCU. They want Marvel money. That's not the same thing. Everybody just wants money. Well, can we pick it up and not just leave it here? I need a quiver. I mean, I feel that's, you know, fair. Japanese growl of like samurai films. The gutturalness of it. That's something you don't really get in Western culture. And the other concept that I love from Japanese samurai films that you don't ever see in American films is the concept of rage. I mean, just like true expressions of rage. You see that in Japanese films, and you never see it in American films. Like, the hero must always be stoic at the end of the day, and they make it upset, but they never completely give it rage. And I think that's one of the reasons that, especially characters like Wolverine and like Old Man Logan and stuff like that are kind of interesting to us. And I think it's also one of the reasons he has an affinity with Japanese culture. And, you know, a lot of stuff that we do is it was very much inspired by that, you know, concept of rage at the right moment and also controlling it and all that, which is definitely inspired by it. Hello, shiny thing on tree. Oh, okay. Just happened to have been carrying it this whole time.
I
love that. That was nice. Half bow, moderate damage and draw speed. Once a gift from now wielded by Sensei's new student. The lamp closest to us. L2 aims the bow. R2 draws any kind of no targeting assistance. We're just gonna try and poke at the further down the road. Not sure if this game has drop, but it definitely has wiggle if you take too long, so... Nope, no drop. Okay. Oh, you mean the shoulder things? It's just a fashion. If you remember Shredder from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, also used to have that sort of dojo outfit. Okay, apparently the arrow does start to drop from that far away. Yep, this is dropping, start getting further out, which honestly is about right. I mean, it's actual bow drop, not like insane bow drop. I have a bunch of extra arrows, so I like to shoot a couple, figure out what the drop looks like as it gets further out. Yeah, like I say, it's realistic bow drop, which again, didn't expect. Oh, talking about Mongol fire weapons, which we were discussing earlier. Do the Mongols have gunpowder in this game or not? Okay, yeah, like a bow description, or, you know, arrows made of lead. Scout them out. Like how every mission begins with scout them out. Let's go up here. Let's lean against the log like we did a minute ago. We're going to go up here, then we kind of squat down. And we're like, okay. I like that. That sounds like an actual Japanese proverb. Why do you charge into battle with your hakama half-tied? Survey the battlefield. Find everybody. Hornet nest. Okay, interesting. Okay, do like Eltharion. Coat your arrows in gunpowder and hope it hurts more. Kick up sparks. Okay, start a fire there. Okay, great. And then what's this? Okay, so alright, so shoot all the things. Got it. You got 3 targets, shoot your 3 targets, aim up a little. Okay, here we go. My arrows are currently full, that's good. I got there like, wait, did he say wait for my signal? He said wait for my signal, didn't he? Did he say wait for my signal? Oh my god, dude. Oh yeah, we're gonna wait for those guys to go right there. Come on. Oh. Well, I was waiting for them to get right there, so how about you back off, man? I was gonna say that clearly I did it correctly, and you were wrong. R2 for more arrows. Nice. Alright, this is what you meant by wait for them to get into sparks. There's something right there to shoot, looks like. Oh, that's a really limited range. Oh, golly. You know what? I feel like I should have saw it coming. Whoa! Isn't it though the universal rule of game design? Hold on. You and me, buddy. One of us is gonna go down. It's gonna be good. Awesome. We're your friends. Roll, 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 roll. Dodge roll, dodge roll, dodge roll. Oh, there were red things right here. I figured there were. I just couldn't see them. Ambush the Mongol Patrol, rid the Fort Nakamaya of Mongols.
Ready?
Oh, shit. God damn it, I just get started off by getting shot in the face. This is not gonna end well. Alright, you, first off. Yep. As soon as he got me with the arrow at the start, I'm like, I'm boned. I do like they take the time to really stab you in this game, just in case you're wondering if you're gonna die or not. Just, yeah. So really, I thought I was gonna be able to do a standoff right there or something. But, no, I figured alright, see if I can sneak in a little this time instead of just, going in. Guns blazing. Hey there, anybody? Anybody? Hey there, how you doing? You gonna chase me out here? That's good. Shoot him in the back. Shoot him in the back. Come on. Nope. Oh, what? Ah, ha, ha. I love the AI. Apparently gave up chasing me and decided to run away. Better than I think I thought they would be. So, really... Getting shot at by archers. Can you help me out with that, bud? Thank you. Appreciate it. Blue? I'm out of arrows? I'm out of arrows. Okay. I'm like looting the place. Ah. Good. Oh, nope. I was hoping I could juke him one more time. Alright, so there should be a ladder, because you can't magically get up there either. I like how the game does provide me a way to get to you, regardless if I, Can I loot some arrows off of you? No, of course not. Ooh, oof. Useful things nearby. Two guys both outside waiting on me. Can I just shoot one in the face without him noticing? Nope, still don't have arrows. But I might be able to, like, sneak up and stab him. After all, I do have stealthy ninja skills. By stealthy ninja skills, I mean the ability to sometimes shoot them in the back and they don't notice. You know, there's clearly a stealth way of handling this. I just missed it.
Just ready?
Yep, like that. Ah, ammo. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. Surprise. Game design. Please do not rate me, Sensei, for my performance right there. I don't think you're going to let me keep the bow. It was a shame for display. Oh,
俺を撃つと縛られ矢の的にされたか。巴は待て、これは巴のもの。辺りを調べる。 もうこの矢ではない。
これは巴の矢だ。
確かですか。
I like how there's all a bunch of scattered arrows, but her arrows are dead center, in case you're wondering if she was a badass or
奪わ
not.
れたのでしょうか。
それにしては狙いが正確。猛虎の兵なんぞにできぬ芸当だ。
巴に弓を使わせたのか。
There's a difference in how the Japanese arrows versus Mongol arrows are made. Like, the Japanese arrows are... I don't know anything about the... I mean, there's some types of bows, but I'm not sure if there's a difference in the types of arrows. I mean, clearly there is. Okay, we got hints all over the place here, so let's go look at another hint. Yeah, I was wondering if they were like bamboo or something, you know, a very, like a lighter arrow. That's definitely sort of the impression I got. Oh, there we go.
誰かが住んでおったようだ。
女子の衣服、
巴のものだ。
釈放されていたのか。なぜだ。
Why did they free her? Well, I'm gonna go on a limb here and say it's a prisoner camp and she's a lady, but let's hope that's not where they're going with this. But I'm just saying that would be a likely explanation. And then I'm gonna kind of leave it at that. Door! Yeah! Sorry.
巻物。猛虎の言葉で弓について書かれている。
Was she teaching them
ここに。
archery?
わしの教えを猛虎に
She
売っ
was
たとい
teaching
う
them。archery. That is traitorous. That is no good. That is,
聞こえたか。
島のものです。
we're gonna hunt her down after that, man. Like, you do not teach the secrets. It's like rule 101 of being in a dojo. You don't disrespect by teaching it to foreigners and outsiders.
寒い。
It's so cold. That's because you're in shock and slowly
女を
bleeding out
探し
and
てお
dying.
る。弓取りだ。
俺と同じ檻にいた女です。でも奴は解放され、弓を受け取ると女房を殺しやがった。他の奴らも。
あのムクロ。
己の腕を敵に売り込み、寝返りおったか。
頼む。痛えよ。死にたくない。
長いは無用。行くぞ。
So, are we gonna go hunt her
殺して
down?
おれば。
なんと。
自由を得るため、巴は敵についたのだ。
なぜそのような。先生。
わしが追い詰めたのだ。
追い詰めた。ご説明を。先生。
God, the voice acting. I love the Japanese voice acting. It's much more like you get the gutturalness of it.
賊ではない。巴だ。
なぜ。
武士の本懐を理解しておらぬからだ。
あなたのせいで寝返ったのでは。
己に何がわかる。
本意をお聞かせください。
わしの弓術を猛虎に奪われるわけにはいかぬ。
ならば止めねば。
That is true. It is a matter of honor.
助太刀はいらぬ。
いや、いるはずです。
Me, who's terrible with a bow and apparently has never shot one before this exact mission. Also, can we get this guy a shave? Like, he does not look good with that stubble.
巴を仕留めるぞ。わしのやり方でな。
そして叔父上の救出にお力添えを。
約束しよう。
So this is how we gather
手
samurai
はずを
to our
整え
cause.
ておく。
We do the little mini quest and build an
道
army.
場に来い。
Alright, I
我
like
らだ
it.
けでは勝てません。もっと味方を集めねば。
生きておるかはわからんが、足立政子殿を探せ。対馬随一の女武芸者だ。
I was initially playing in English earlier. I actually do prefer the Japanese on this one, just because I'm so used to Kurosawa's films. The English was fine, honestly, but the Japanese are performing like a samurai film in a sort of way. Like they go, like, you know, it's almost like a theatrical nature. Like it's not meant to be realistic, versus the English, which is. So it's been kind of fun to see it in this version. L and R1 to throw 2 kunai at nearby enemies, leaving them staggered. L and R1. Well, that's cool. That's going to be stinking useful. Evolving tactics. Continue journeys to learn more about them. So I've heard you can like do a standoff streak. Yep, that's it. After you do one, you can do like multiple in a row. That is cool. I want to do more of those. Not enough technique points. And all these guys. Oh, Black Powder Bomb. Hey, we were talking about that. Oh, yeah, I mean, there's lots of references to Kurosawa. In fact, they actually contacted Kurosawa's estate and asked if they could use Akira Kurosawa and name the game mode Kurosawa mode. And Kurosawa's estate was pretty cool, and they're like, yeah, go for it. I mean, most estates, frankly, are not as cool about that sort of thing. But, I mean, they realize his indelible mark he made on samurais and samurai culture. I wonder if those bees can hurt me. If I stand here, do they attack me? Nope. Nope, they're just trying to attack the enemy. Good to know. Oh, yeah. Like, there's even a... I would, honestly, I wonder if we can just turn on Kurosawa mode real quick for anyone that wants to see it. Just, I was curious. I just didn't want to play the whole game that way. Just because it's so stinking pretty. Let's see. That's probably a display setting. Kurosawa mode on. Right. So, it's not just a black and white filter. It actually tries to heighten it, so there's like brighter brights and darker darks, and it sort of rebalance the whole film to match that. So not only that, but Kurosawa mode is actually windier as well. So the whole world like has a bit more life and movement to it to try and replicate the look of Kurosawa's films. It's a cool thing to have added, but, you know, especially, you know, you got a guy like this, and when you go into a duel mode, you can definitely see the influences, like how they're moving and like the epic way they're actually doing things. Right. I'm going to say this is as good a spot as any to stop. We just recruited our first samurai, and yeah, introduced a hell of a world right there, and I look forward to playing more of it. So thanks for tuning in tonight. Subscribe if you want to see more of this. You get notified if I start playing again tomorrow night, which I should. You can join the channel, which works like Twitch, like subscriptions or whatever, and if you ever do super chats, it's like tips. So if you guys want to do any of that, that's how you do it. I know I didn't know how until yesterday. But yeah, it's been fun. See you guys later. Have fun out there. And I should just be able to press a button and turn this off. I don't know. And nope, still going. How do I turn it off? There you go.